Everyone believes that they'll make a great parent one day, and they have a vision of how they want to do it, and it might be a little bit of a mix of how they were raised and the complete opposite of how they were raised. Being a parent is one of the most stressful and time-consuming jobs out there, yet it is also one that most people are striving to take at the right time, of course. The way that these people choose have to be very careful on how they choose to parent, because it can have multiple effects on how they're raised. And you can never tell how someone's going to turn out based upon how you're going to raise them as a child. Children are young, dumb, and full of energy, and as a parent, it is your job to figure out how you're going to deal with their quote unquote dumb things that they do. And nobody expects you to be perfect, so nonetheless, you shouldn't expect them to be perfect either. Being a strict and tightly wound parent when raising a child can do more harm than good for them. Not all children come from strict parents, but in a room full of teenagers, you could easily tell who came from strict parents and who came from, easygoing parents. And you could also kind of tell the severity of how strict those parents were. In the AHA Parenting article that I read, it stated that kids raised with punitive discipline have tendencies towards anger and depression. This anger could be used for more harm than good. It can be self-inflicting if it is also tied together with a depression, or it could be put on other kids such as bullying. Depression is one of the most commonly used phrases in today through teenagers. And in today's society, you hear of multiple suicides due to depression. From the article and research done by Michigan State University on this topic, they have said children in these families have poor self-esteem and are poor judges of character and will rebel against authorities when they are older. The fact that these kids aren't being understood or listened to by their parents are causing them to act out for attention, even if the attention is unwanted. They rebel and act out in front of authority because they have been silenced their whole lives and they want to be heard for once. Now that we know how this feels, we got to find the source of where this comes from. And in the article that I read by Morin, she listed a way for you to figure out if you're a strict parent or not. And one of those questions is if you struggle to tolerate or other people's lack of discipline. This is pretty much stating that you as a parent, you question on how other people parent and discipline their children, and most people won't understand how other people operate unless they ask questions, and not that many people are inclined to put themselves out there and ask questions. And most people parent from how they were parented or how they were raised. So, it's pretty easy to look back and think of the good old times when you try to find a cause for this. The article on WebMD states that the authoritarian parent shows a lot of discipline and no warmth. We live in a different era where lots of things have changed. The old times were great when they were here, but they're gone. And we shouldn't let the styles of disciplining stay here while they're gone. They should go as well. We are a society that is always adapting and always changing, and we have to adapt not only as a society, but parents as well. They have to adapt their teaching styles and their parenting styles based upon how times are changing. While the good old days have passed, the styles have passed as well, and they will always be in constant change. So we just got to sit tight and welcome the change as it comes. Those who believe that parenting can only be done one way, strict or not, you guys are not helping the problem at all. I mean, from the article by Baby Gaga, they list 10 styles and ways of how parenting can be done. One that caught my eye was the attachment parenting. It is about creating and maintaining strong connection and bond between parent and child. So instead of telling your child how to feel or what to say, you would be creating a safe space / environment for them to be open and speak about their feelings with you. And you could either, present them with a solution or walk them through the hardships through life. While Baby Gaga has 10 types of parenting styles, the article by Bright Horizons only has 4, but they're a little more generalized. They state that the authoritative style of parenting are reasonable and nurturing, but they do set clear and high standards for their own children. So for all those parents who have been strict and uptight up until this moment, you guys don't have to abandon ship completely. You would just have to, get some new crew members, so to say. You'd have to adapt to some of the new changes and be a little bit more open to those changes and welcoming to them, and try them out. See how it feels. The effects of being a more reasonable and understanding parent rather than a strict and uptight parent are significantly better. It causes for a stronger and better relationship with your child, and you just make them feel a lot more comfortable when they're allowed to sit there and be open with you and be vulnerable with you, rather than closed off and always trying to perfect what they do just so they can seem a little bit more presentable to you. So when you contemplate bringing a completely different human into this world, just stop, take a minute, and think about how you want to raise them, what the possible effects of how you want to raise them could be, and think about how you want them to turn out in the end, and then make your decision on how you want to raise them. Thank you for your time.